What's going on, guys? Anthony here from AO Fitness. Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you tuning in. Listen, the weather is getting nicer by the day, and if you live in Colorado, you know, like, it's going to be in the next couple days top 80s, maybe even 90 degrees. So if you're not ready for this heat, I suggest I don't think you have a choice. So you just got to get out there and have some fun. So today's video, we're going to talk about the carnivore diet, a little bit more detail. I do have a video from the past. I'll link it up here in the card, but it kind of went over what I almost said Corona diet. Can you believe that? That's the worst. Oh my God, no. Carnivore diet is what I was talking about. So the video went over a little bit of detail. Today I'm going to go into a little bit more depth as far as what the carnivore diet is. And to be honest, like it's something that I just really like doing just because of how damn easy it is to do. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about a 5K that I ran today right after this. All right, guys, welcome back. So there are a lot of apps out there and programs that teach you how to run a 5K, and it's like from the couch all the way up to 5K. I haven't seen them. I can only assume that it's more like, all right, over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever, that you're going to gradually increase the increments and the frequency of how often you're running and the distance and length that you're running for. So maybe it starts off where you just run maybe 1/8 of a mile, and then you walk the rest, and then you run a little bit further. Every day, each time you try, you run a little bit further. Maybe that's how it goes. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't looked at the apps. I just know that they're out there. I can only assume that progression is how we're able to do this. Now, if you guys know me, I am super impatient. I can't deal with delayed gratification. I have to go for it right away. So like, I think this year, we're in May. This year, I think I've ran 2, maybe 3 times in the last 5 months. So my body wasn't prepared for it, but I went ahead and I ran today anyway. And let me tell you, that is a rude awakening. So I got about a mile in. It took me probably 12 minutes, 13 minutes to run the first mile. It's very humbling. Right then and there, I knew, like, okay, shin splints are kicking in just because it's been so long. I didn't drink any amino acids. I didn't have a whole lot of water intake before. So my shins are pissed off and they are cramping up. And typically at that point, most of us, probably 80% of us that run and fail to do it consistently, it's because of those issues. It's because of those problems. I mean, think about this. Like, there's so many issues. Like, you go, all right, my toes hurt. My ankles hurt, my heel hurts, the top of my feet hurt, my shins hurt, my calves hurt, my quads hurt, my hips hurt, all the way up to your brain. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but a couple miles into a run and your brain starts wobbling, starts clicking. That's the scariest, weirdest feeling ever. But anyways, I digress. Here's my point, is that at that point, about 1.5 miles, I was ready to just give up and I was going to go home. I was done. It was very painful and I wasn't comfortable. I didn't like it. Plus it was hot, but whatever. Here's the man maker rule, is you just dig deeper and you get through it. I kept telling myself, like, you know what? I said I was going to do a 5K today. I'm going to do a 5K today. Part of me was like, oh, I'll just run 1.5 miles now. And then later on tonight, I'll just run another 1.5 miles or whatever. And I just couldn't get it through my head. I couldn't get it out of my head. I had to do it. I had to complete it. I had to make sure that I finished it just so I could tell you guys that I did it, right? No, that's not it. But I can tell you this. Pain, there's a lesson to be learned through pain. Pain shows us, it teaches us what we're actually capable of, what we're willing to tolerate, what we're willing to put our bodies through. There's something to be learned at the end of this. So I did finish the 5K. It wasn't in the time that I wanted, but I mean, it was around 45 minutes or so, 46 minutes, which in my opinion, if I'm being honest, is super slow. It's very slow. But for the first run out of the gate, the first distance run out of the gate, I got to be happy with it. So you guys run 5Ks. What's your time? Put it in the comments below. Listen, I want you to beat my time. I want you to be faster. So put your time in the comments below. I would love to see how fast you guys can do a 4K. 4K video, no, 5K. I want to see how fast you guys can do a 5K because it's important to me. So I can put my numbers up against yours, and then I've got something to go off of. So drop it in the comments below. All right, so enough about running. Let's get into the corona. See, I did it again. The coronavirus diet. See, I just stop. Let's just start over. How about this? Okay, so that's enough about running a 5K. Let's jump into the carnivore diet. All right, guys, so let's talk about the carnivore diet. A lot of people are referring to it as the 30-day meat-only challenge. Now, to give you a little bit more of a background on what the carnivore diet actually is, it's pretty similar to keto. Now, keto's been around for a couple of years. It's been very popular. You may have even tried it. The majority, I mean, the likelihood is you've probably tried the keto diet. I've talked about it on the channel in the past as well. There's also the Atkins diet. And the idea behind these three diets is that you are restricting carbs in a big way. So the basic rule behind the meat-only challenge or the carnivore challenge is that you are consuming literally zero carbs. Atkins was 0 carbs, but the sugars in Atkins was a little too much. I would say the carnivore diet is going to be a lot closer to ketogenic or the keto diet, in the fact that keto, you're allowed to have 35 grams of carbs in a day, and you would still stay in ketosis. And the idea is your body's burning stored fat, stored carbs, as opposed to front loading and trying to burn them off before they're stored. The majority of people that try it, they're going to do it for weight loss, for diet reasons only, but there are a lot of medical reasons people are doing the carnivore diet, and most of it's going to be more, it's an elimination diet. So you're taking away all the foods that you would normally eat, and you're focusing on controlled foods, stuff that you can track. So 30 days seems to be a really good time for your body, and for you to listen to your body and see results. Not only are you going to lose weight, for the most part, people are going to lose weight because you're in such a carb deficit. But I'd say like a lot of people are going to use it to see like if they can improve their sleep quality, they can decrease the amount of aches and pains they have in their body. Possibly better energy throughout the day because your body's burning like it's supposed to, burning stored carbs or stored fats. What's really cool about that is when you oxidize brown fat, it becomes white fat, which your body can then release, put it back into the bloodstream, so you have a better chance of burning it off. And in return, you end up with that natural feeling of energy, even when you're in a calorie deficit or a carb deficit. So one thing I would highly recommend is that you take before pictures and after pictures. So 30 days is enough time to know if this type of diet would actually work for you or not. Like I had mentioned earlier, this is one of my favorite diets just because of ease of use. It is literally the easiest thing to follow. You're only gonna eat animal meats. You're gonna eat protein sources from animals, including organs too. I'm not a huge fan of organs like liver and tongue and things like that. I guess if you spice it up the right way, it's okay. I'm just not a big fan of it. So again, ease of use, this is why I do it, this is why I enjoy it, and I'm assuming that this is why this has gotten so popular. You may have noticed that the carnivore diet became really popular when Joe Rogan picked it up on his podcast and on YouTube, and he started talking about it, and then he started doing it, and then he started seeing results. He's the first person to say like it's really hard for him to stay committed to something and stay on a diet and something that requires your attention. This is it. This is super easy. So, and it does go without saying, I think you should be drinking more water. Like most of us should drink a half a gallon to a gallon of water every single day, but sometimes we just don't. Me personally, I still drink like an energy drink a day, maybe even 2, just because I like that extra caffeine. I am a junkie when it comes to caffeine. Like I love caffeine. And I like the carbonation of like a 0 carb energy drink, which on this diet, you are still allowed to have. I struggle with getting in more water. I know I need to get more water. Even if I can get a gallon a day, like that's really gonna push some of those toxins out of your body, some of the stuff that's been sitting in there for a while, the free radicals. Like let's flush out as much stuff as we can by consuming as much water as we can throughout the day. I mean, think about it this way, like if you had like your car was dirty, like how are you gonna clean off your car? Like you're gonna use water from the water hose. You're gonna spray the car down to get all the dirt off the car. You wouldn't spray soda on it, right? You wouldn't spray milk on it. That'd be the weirdest thing ever, and it would do the complete opposite. So water is good for us. And one of my favorite parts about this diet is that you can eat until you're full. Most of the time, like when you're on any kind of diet, you've got to watch your calories, your carbs, your fats, your proteins. You got to watch all that stuff, and you have to stay within the range. But this is different because you are not consuming a whole lot of food, and it's like predominantly it's going to be like protein heavy. So like you don't have to worry about it as long as you're keeping out the carbs. Like your fats are welcome and the proteins are welcome. So you just eat until you're full. So the basic idea is you're going to consume 1 to 3 meals every day. Some of you may consider doing intermittent fasting, which allows you to have a window of 8 hours and then fast for 16 hours. You can definitely do the carnivore diet and intermittent fast at the same time. Now, an extreme version of the carnivore diet would be an OMAD insert, which would be 1 meal a day, which is really difficult to do because your mind and your body plays tricks on you, and you get really, really hungry. So I would say, like, for me personally, what works good for me, it's not necessarily like the timing and trying to spread out your meals and stuff like that, but like if you can get in 3 solid meals, maybe 2 snacks throughout the day, and you're still at 0 carbs, I think that's what works for me. That may be easier for you as well. And then if you want to play with it a little bit, you can definitely introduce intermittent fasting or OMAD at the same time, which again, like I said, it's a little rough to do that, but I mean, to each their own. You can definitely do it. It just depends on how aggressive you want to get and how much you want to put your body through. Okay, so let's talk about what types of foods you can eat. What foods are approved to be on the carnivore diet? All right, so here's the type of food, some example foods. Red meat, you're gonna have beef, pork, lamb, wild game, birds. White meat would be chicken, turkey, fish, seafood, some types of sushi. Organ meat, which I just can't deal with, but here it is. Liver, kidneys, tongue, heart, brain. Animal fat would be bone marrow, tallow, and then you've got your eggs. So like chicken eggs, goose eggs, and duck eggs. Now this should be super obvious. There are some foods that you should absolutely, under no circumstances, consume, and here they are. Dairy, heavy cream, cheese, butter, vegetables, cauliflower, broccoli, potatoes. Fruits would be strawberries, blackberries, bananas. Grains would be bread, cereals, flour. Nuts would be peanuts, almonds, macadamia, and then desserts, chocolate, ice cream, even protein bars, guys. So I'm a huge fan of protein bars. I like them a lot. I think that you've got to look at the nutrition facts. The majority of these protein bars are going to have anywhere from net carbs, you'd be anywhere from say 4, 5, 6, all the way up. I've seen some that are in the 30 to 40 range. It just has too much sugar in there, and it totally defeats the purpose. Here's an added benefit that not a lot of us talk about. It's just the overall cost of it. You've got meat, that's it. If you plan accordingly, you can probably at your local King Soopers or Walmart or wherever you guys shop, you could probably find deals on meats. Obviously, if you can go organic, cool. I think that there is a major benefit to getting the fattier cuts of meat. So for example, ground beef, most of us are gonna go for like the 97.3% when we're cutting and when we're on a normal diet. But for this here, you do need those extra fats. So the fattier the meat, believe it or not, it's better for you. You want to have protein and fats and not carbs to be successful on the carnivore diet. Okay, so I've made a list of the benefits of an all-meat diet. So it's super simple. It's a simple eating plan. No calorie counting. You can eat until you're full. It obviously will aid in weight loss, decrease inflammation levels, which is a massive bonus, and then reduce glucose level spikes. Now, I do got to warn you, with all the positivity and some of the majority of the benefits do come problems with an all-meat diet. Fatigue is going to be one of them, and maybe you're just experiencing it in the beginning. For the most part, you should see a rise in your energy levels when your body starts converting to burning stored fats and carbs. Some people will experience weight gain. For whatever reason, I don't understand the science behind it, but there are some people that go on keto and they actually gain weight. It's the craziest thing ever, but it does happen. And then just pure boredom from lack of variety in food choices, and it leads to trying and wanting and craving other things that are above and beyond what you would normally eat. And then here's the biggest one, guys. This is what usually turns people off, and it's gonna be the constipation. Constipation is a real thing. Just know that you are shoving a ton of protein down your throat and asking your body to process it. You don't have a lot of the fiber and other foods that you get through vegetables, so you struggle with breaking that stuff down. Maybe you could take a probiotic at the same time to help keep flushing that through. But the reality is that you get backed up, you get stopped up, Some people have complained about explosive diarrhea and that being a real thing. So just be careful. I didn't experience anything like that. I did experience some constipation. It took me about 2 days to start clearing things out, and that was my body just kind of processing through. So yeah, that's pretty much it for covering the carnivore diet. If you guys would like more information about the carnivore diet, if you'd like to see me do a video, like a full day of eating with sample meals that I put together, I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. Today, I will let you know, today I did weigh in. I started at 206 flat, ran a 5K. I've been on the carnivore all day long. So far so good. Energy is great. I did get a mild headache, and it's got to be because I didn't drink enough water. So that is my goal for the remainder of the day, is to drink a lot more water. So anyways, guys, if you want to see like a full day of eating, hit me up, let me know. I can post a video on the results, see kind of where we're at. I would appreciate a comment down below if this is something that you're into. If you're going to start the carnivore diet, put it down in the comments below. Let me know that you're starting it so that I can track your results. Again, I want to be a support for you just like you have been for me. So I appreciate your time, effort, love, and support. Guys, get out there and do something epic. The weather is beautiful. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, guys.